Hiya, it's me again, Leslie Ann. So, I thought I'd come on here today and have a little chat about mindful eating. So, April is Stress Awareness Month, and there is all sorts of things we can do to help look after our emotional and mental health. And one of the best things we can do is self-care. There is loads and loads of evidence out there that self-care really is beneficial for us. And so self-care encompasses all sorts of things. So things we eat, it's how much we move around, physical exercise, activities, and mindfulness is part of it. And there is an awful lot of evidence out there that it does work. Yes, it's not for everybody, but it's free, so it's worth a try. So we can practice mindfulness whether we are just sat in our sitting room on an evening, if we're in the garden or we've gone for a walk around the park, or when we're cooking. It's the same principles. It's clearing our mind, and if our mind wanders, just bring it back to being mindful, thinking about our breathing, thinking about our breath, thinking about the activity that we are involved in, and not all of those other things that are going around in our heads. And yes, our mind will wander, it will go off and think about all of the things that's going on, but the important thing is to recognise it and then bring it back into the moment. So like I say, when we're cooking, it's an ideal opportunity because we're going to be spending a little bit of time in the kitchen cooking whatever it is that we are cooking, so it's a really beneficial time to do it. But it doesn't have to be while cooking your tea, it can be while just making a cup of tea, making a cup of coffee. It can be really simple, and like I say, if we start off with the small ones, like I say, while making a cup of coffee, we can then build on it into making a whole meal or when we're out and about. So it's just something to think about. So the first thing we want to do is when we're in the kitchen, put our mobile phones away somewhere, put our tablets away, turn the radio off, just be in the quiet so that we really can focus on the sensation of making a cup of tea. Notice the small changes. Something as simple as once we've filled our kettle up, how much heavier it feels, and then once we've popped it on, think about kettle's boiling, the sound it's making. Really try and tune into that sound of the water getting hot. If you've got a kettle that whistles, does it whistle? Have a little think about the steam as it's coming out of the kettle. Just be immersed in the kettle boiling that water. And then once our kettle's boiled, have a look whether we are using ground coffee, whether we're using a tea bag, and they're in the cup. How does it feel? How did the coffee feel in your hands? How did the tea bag feel? What does it look like in the cup? And then once we pour our water on and we can see, so if we've made a cup of tea and we've popped our tea bag in and then we've poured our hot water on, notice the changing of the colour in the water, how that the tea from the tea bag is seeping out into the coffee cup, into your tea cup. Have a look. Can you smell it? Does it smell of tea? How fresh does it smell? Is it a good cup of tea? And then once we've had our tea bag in there, even just the mashing of the tea bag and the squeezing the tea bag against the side of the cup before we take it out. How does that feel? Does the tea bag feel different now to before it went in the cup? And then if we're having milk in our tea, as we're pouring our milk in, it's another sensation. It's something else we can be involved in. Just watching that milk pour into our cup of tea. Have a look at how the tea changes, the colours that it changes. Does the smell of it change? And then the important bit, having a little sit down, clearing a space, and then just enjoying that cup of tea. Your hands wrapped around the cup, how does that make you feel? The smell of the tea in that cup, how does that smell of that tea make you feel? And then as you're drinking it, how does it feel in your mouth? What does it taste of? So I think I'm going to go and have a cup of tea, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.